You know, I wanted to do a video on the Democrat Party just as a whole. Uh, it's been feeling for a long time like there's a big divide on who the big stars of that party should be. Uh, Obviously, Obama came out of nowhere, so they can still bring up new people. But just in this last election and then this cycle coming up, it just feels like they're pushing people who are 90 years old. You got Clinton on the last one, who didn't even win the primary for the Democrat vote until they threw their weight behind her, and it came out in emails and other information that they literally stole it from Bernie. Uh, it's insanity. Like it came out and nothing happened. No one cared, and I don't understand why the Democrats don't care. Why this stuff keeps happening or is going to keep happening until you say something. This party doesn't really have an identity. Uh, you've got, I think, three big factions among the Democrats. You've got your old established Democrats who really are like they're just going to go whichever the wind is blowing. You had just Hillary Clinton is probably your main one of this, where you can see her development as a candidate throughout her life, where she'll just blow with the wind. She'll always toe the party line, but it'll be whatever she has to be. She used to not like gay marriage. Now she does. She used to or she used to be all pro war. Then she was anti war. Now she's pro war. Back and forth, back and forth. It just depends on whatever she has to be at the time. That's what she'll be, and they're just gonna throw their weight behind her because she has a big name. So that's one part of the party. Just the old people who are just gonna go however it needs to go. Joe Biden is the same exact way. Just corrupt politicians and people who are just gonna go however they need to be. The second part of the party is more of your socialist leaning. Now, not all of them are social leaning. It's like AOC, you got Bernie, and you got a few others who are all just in this little section of the party who just are going to lean more socialist, more healthcare in the healthcare type way, on just social policies in general. That's your other section of the party. They all have their varying degrees of what they are, and that's what a party can be. Where you've got everybody who kind of agrees on one thing, but little lean back and forth, lean back and forth. That's a section of the party, and in Europe, that's a party all its own, right there. Then you've got the last part of the party, who, if you look at people like the current governor of Louisiana, uh, and this article that I'm about to read about, Miss Tulsi Gabbard, people who are more, I don't want to use the word conservative, but I would say old line Democrats. Democrats of what they used to be, of maybe the 1970s. People who are more, uh, I'd say, fiscally conservative. Uh, they they're not like Hillary Clinton. They're not war hawks. Um, right now, the Democrats have seemingly lost their mind, and they've gone from nobody wanting war to everybody loving war, and it's people like this who stay consistent. Um, but let me read this article. That's a whole another argument for itself. Just where the Democrat Party is going, I can't tell you, to be honest. But it feels like at some point there needs to be a break because people like this, like Tulsi, are never gonna get an edge. Just they if you were reading the articles before, this is a totally different article. But if you've read articles in the past couple of days, she's obviously boycott or wanted to boycott the Democratic debates coming up just because of there no one's showing her any respect, and it has to do with the people up top. Joe Biden, Elizabeth Warren, Hillary Clinton. Obviously, Clinton's not running, but these people are at the top, and that's who the Democrats are pushing. And it doesn't matter. You're not going to get a chance. And Andrew Yang, Tulsi Gabbard, even Camilla Harris. These people don't have a chance because the party's not going to push you, and it doesn't matter what you do. You're the majority of the primary votes you aren't gonna have a chance. Even if you show up to these debates, you're not gonna get the airtime. You're not gonna be discussed. It doesn't matter. Um, and at some point, these people are gonna have to split off. if they want to ever have a chance to change the party, where it's going, or just the American people, you're gonna have to leave. Um, and I don't know what the Democrats are thinking when you're never gonna develop any new people. You're not gonna develop stars. Uh, you're pushing 80 years olds as your leading candidates. Where do you go from there? The Republicans suffer from the same issues, but they got pushback. Remember the Tea Party? A bunch of young senators came out and said, "Enough's enough. This isn't what we believe in. You're going the wrong way," and it fractured the party at some point. They've kind of mended over time, but it seems like they're going to need to do this with the Democrats. They had a little bit of that last year when you had AOC and a few of her friends kind of break off and do their own little thing, but that wasn't nearly the amount of people, and they didn't nearly get as much support. They're just headline generators. It seems a few of them have disappeared. But let me read this article. It's pretty damning when it comes to Ms. Tulsi. I am not the biggest fan of her, but she does have like I said in one of my previous videos, a few things I agree with her about. The biggest thing they're crushing her in this article about is just her views on the war. I mean, that's all it is. Just wars in the Middle East. All of a sudden, the Democrat Party has become war hungry, and they're going after somebody who is saying that she doesn't want to debate because she's not getting the chance, and they're saying like they're comparing her to white nationalists because she doesn't want part of this. So let me read the article and see what you guys think. What exactly is Tulsi Gabbard up to? As she injects chaos in the 2020 Democratic primary by accusing her own party of rigging the election, accusing her party of rigging the election. I can't even get past the first sentence. She's not accusing them of doing it because they're doing it. Look, they did it with Bernie. This isn't accusing. They do it every time. You can bring up the articles yourself. I'm not gonna go through 50 articles in this video, but you know they did it because it came out and they. Come on. All right. An array of alt-right internet stars, white nationalists, and Russians have praised her. Give me a break. Like, I like how they say alt-right internet stars. Anybody who is right of their left-wing positions for the New York Times is an alt-right star. I hate the term alt-right. I hate it. I hate it. I would never even say I'm a right person in general anyway. But anybody who they put this label on anybody who is right of any position they have and doesn't necessarily agree with full Republican rhinos. That's what an alt-right star is. It's pretty insane. White nationalists is just anybody they put it on. I mean, these are just stupid terms. And Russians have praised her. Oh, the Russians. What is this, 1960? Like, we're going to have Russian communist trials? Like, anybody who even is... It's just so stupid. All right. Let me get past the first sentence. Washington Post, or Washington Times. God damn. Stephen K. Bannon, President Trump's former chief strategist, they even have to mention his name, is impressed with her political talent. Richard B. Spencer, the white nationalist leader, says he could vote for her. Former Representative Ron Paul. I like how they're putting Ron Paul with these other people as he's like this kook pot. Like, you're comparing him to Richard. They're not comparing him, but putting him in the same paragraph, they are obviously doing it. They're comparing Ron Paul to Steve Bannon and to Richard Spencer. Come on, like, this is an obvious slam piece. It's not even trying to hide it. And a far right conspiracy theorist like Mike Kurvanich, I can't pronounce his name right now. I'm so pissed. See a certain Maga Sequa. She's got a good energy, a good vibe. You feel like she's just a serious person, he said. She seems very Trumpian. Among her fellow Democrats, Representative Tulsi Gabbard has struggled to make headway as a presidential candidate barely cracking 2% mark in the polls needed to qualify for Tuesday night's debate. She's now injecting a bit of chaos into her party's primary race, threatening to boycott that debate to protest what she sees as rigging of the 2020 election. That's left some Democrats wondering what exactly she's up to in the race, while others worry about supportive signs from online bot activity and Russian news media. Why are they so worried about her? If this is such a big deal, she's got 2%. Why are you so worried? Why are you writing a piece about this and comparing her to white nationalists if she's not a big deal? It doesn't make any sense. Perhaps the strangest of all is the unusual array of Americans who cannot seem to get enough of her. On podcasts and online videos, interviews, and Twitter feeds, alt-right internet stars, white nationalists, libertarian activists, as if libertarian activists are the same thing as alt-right and white nationalists. Come on. And some of the biggest boosters of Trump heap praise on Ms. Gabbard. They like the Hawaiian Congresswoman's isolationist foreign policies. Like they like her support of drug discrimination. Look, this article started as a slam piece going against her on comparing her to white nationalists, and now I haven't even gotten to the next part. Decriminalization of drugs is a Democrat-supported position, but when it comes to slamming Ms. Gabbard, they put it on her like they are totally against it. Come on. Like, what else can you say but come on? And they list all these people: alt-right stars, white nationalists, libertarians, and biggest boosters of Trump. The reason why she gets so much support from a wide array of people is because she's not insane. She's not my candidate, but she's not insane. You have to either be someone like Bernie, or you have to be someone like Clinton who can toe the party line. You can't be too conservative, or they're just gonna throw you to the side, and they're gonna write articles like this and call you a white nationalist, or not outright call you it, but they'll compare it to you 10 times in the article. Oh, and then of course we can't forget 4chan. Oh, the hacker known as 4chan has shown up again. Then there's 4chan, the notoriously toxic online message board where some alt-right, or no, just right-wing trolls, they're not alt-right, and anti-Semites fawn over Ms. Gabbard, calling her mommy and praising her willingness to criticize Israel. Again, let me stop. In April, the Daily Stormer, a neo-Nazi website, took credit for Ms. Gabbard's qualification for the first 2 Democratic primary debates. Again, the Democrats aren't supporters of Israel. Period. No one does. But when it comes to this article, they're framing it as if they're trying to attach her to neo-Nazis because she's not a full-on idiot when it comes to Israel, and she has some common sense. Can we stop with these articles? And I'm not even quoting. This isn't some Yahoo reporter who has one follower on Twitter or something like that. This is the New York Times. Ms. Gabbard has disavowed some of her most hateful supporters, castigating the news media for giving any oxygen at all to the endorsement she won from the white nationalist leader David Duke. But her frequent appearances on Tucker Carlson's Fox News Network showed that. Didn't David Duke support Hillary Clinton? Isn't there a picture of them hugging and kissing or something? I'm 100% sure on that. And I'm pretty sure he's donated to her. Where's the article on that? It doesn't exist because they don't care. Both Ms. Gabbard and her campaign refused requests for comment about her support in the right-wing circles or threat to boycott the debate. Even some political strategists who have worked with her are at a loss to explain her approach to politics. Come on. All right, I'm going to skip into the bottom because it's just more paragraphs of that. This is the important part, this last part that just really threw me off. This is getting back to the separation of the Democratic Party, because this here is insanity. Laura Rosenberger, a former policy aide to Miss Clinton's campaign and director of the alliance, says sees Miss Gabbard as a potentially useful vector for Russian efforts to sow division within the Democrat Party. The Russian activity could be part of a longer-term effort to drive a wedge among Democrats, she said. This is a messaging that echoes 2016. That kind of speculation inflames Ms. Gabbard's supporters online, who are well known for swarming Ms. Gabbard's critics on Twitter for attacking the news media and the Democrat establishment for perceived bias against her and for compelling YouTube, destroying and shutting down Democrat videos. Look, what do you expect? You're trying to say she's got Russian bot support, and that the only reason she's relevant is because Russia wants to sow a wedge between the Democrats. Like, come on. She thinks differently than some of the Democrats and has her supporters, and you're comparing her to someone who's basically a Russian agent. What do you expect? I hate this. I hate when people try and just say that they're only sowing dissent, and when you criticize them, they get angry because you're criticizing them for bullcrap. When you compare someone to just being a Russian agent and only in this to sow dissent, what do you expect them to say? What do you expect her supporters and her to say? I don't get it. I'm going to read this last part. This whole thing the Democratic Party has done by putting forward this false idea that there's collusion between Russia and Trump has hurt our relations in a huge way with the Russians, Mr. Graham said. I can't speak for Tulsi, but I think she feels the same kind of way on some of these things. This last paragraph is obviously meant to say, it's trying to say she's got a soft spot for the Russians, when that's complete bullcrap. Because anybody who has any kind of sympathy for the Russians, it just has common sense when it comes to foreign policy. That's all it ever is. The Democrats are so hyped up on the Russians right now that even if you say, hey, we're making bad decisions when it comes to global politics, that basically makes you a Russian agent. It's pretty insane. I feel like I've said insane 50 times in this article because it's pissed me off. But you get what I'm saying? Like, anytime you criticize an idea about maybe this is a bad idea, maybe we shouldn't approach Russia with we want to go to war with them at every cost. Because I have a feeling that if Hillary Clinton was the president, that's where we'd be. We'd be at war with Russia, or at least a proxy war, because that's all the Democrats seem to want. What happened to America trying to stay out of these wars? Everybody on the Democrat side seems to be a war hawk these days, whether it's Turkey, Syria, Iran, going to war with Russia. So they all wanted China. If it was up to them, we'd be at war with all of them. It doesn't make any sense. Nobody should like Russia for what they've done and continue to do. But you can't attempt to go to war with everybody. There's a balancing act between good and bad. These sanctions and what we put on them, and trying to give them leeway to repair our relationship with them. You should want to be friends with these people. You shouldn't want to be the enemy. I think that's where the disconnect is. It's where they want to be the bad guy, or they want Russia to be the bad guy. And they're not good, but you don't want them on our bad side. You want to be amicable, at least, with these people, so you can work with them. When they do something they're not supposed to, or that you don't like, you want to be able to have a good relationship to go up to these Russian officials and be like, hey man, we're on good standing. We make all these deals. Do you think you could do us a favor and not do that? You want to have Trump be able to pick up that phone and say, hey, this is not cool, and I'm dumbing it down real hard, but you want to be like, that's not cool, man. Let's try and work something out. And when you're nothing but fanning the flames, and everything Russia does or anybody they're connected to is basically let's go back to the McCarthy era where everybody's a communist. If that's what it is, then you can't work with these people. And the only option is that they're evil. And the only option is that we have to go to war. And the only option is we can't make a beneficial deal. That's what they're getting at. And if you don't like Russia, that's fine. If you don't want to deal with them, fine. But you don't have to. You don't have to frame everybody as an evil organization only bent on taking over the world, and you don't have to say that anybody who doesn't think we should go to war with everybody is a Russian agent. And I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I don't think we should be allies with Russia, and I don't think we should treat them all friendly with kid gloves and give them a hug, because no. When Trump took off the sanctions on Russia, it was a good faith thing he did, but it wasn't the right move probably. I don't think it would be. We shouldn't treat Russia with the kid gloves, but we also can't do what we're doing like this. Anyway, that's the end of my video. You guys tell me what you think. It was kind of a long. There was a lot of thoughts in that. Tell me what you think. Comment below. Thanks for watching. My name is Gavin Lee, and this is my channel, LeeCast. Thanks for watching. I put out videos most days on current events, politics, and more. Please subscribe and give me advice on more of what you'd like to see, and help me build this channel into not only a source for all things political and current for you, but also a place less polarized by political insanity, a whole lot more common sense and discussion, and a lot less two-party bias. Subscribe below and comment on what you'd like to see. Thank you.